Hello everybody, I'm deciding to do this particular video in English. There are three major tribes in Nigeria: the Igbos, the Yorubas, and the Hausas. The Yorubas are southwest, the Igbos are southeast, and the Hausas are northern. In between all tribes, we have different ethnic groups and other tribes within that. But these are the major three. There are a lot of things going on in Nigeria that most Nigerians don't know about. And as a journalist, as an international journalist, my job is to really inform people because that's what journalism is about. It's a rough draft of history, and history doesn't exist in Nigerian schools. What we have today in 2023 is a series of horrible things that have happened to Nigeria and broken down the system. Nothing works in Nigeria. That's my favorite phrase. Nothing works in Nigeria. I even told people not to vote for the election, but they said, hey, we have to vote. You vote, you've destroyed their economy and the government, so it's time for us to vote. Young people don't seem to understand where the genesis of this problem started. For example, right now in 2023, the amount of drugs that have been seized by the Nigerian government, the NDLEA, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, between 2019 to about now, 2023, has been a lot. There's a lot of cannabis entering Nigeria. There's a lot of cocaine. There's a lot of crystal meth. And there's a lot of prescription drugs like tramadol. The Igbos are very prominent with drug trafficking. Many Igbo businesses were generated with drug money. A lot of Igbo businesses started with drug money. Okay, I'm saying it right to everybody's face. If you want to know, just look at who's been arrested in many countries abroad. In America, in Canada, in Thailand, in Malaysia. In fact, a lot of Igbo people were the ones that caused the Asian countries to impose an NDLEA clearance certificate on us. If I want to visit Bali, Indonesia, one of the countries I must visit before I die, the beaches, the resorts, everything, I need an NDLEA clearance because I'm carrying a Nigerian passport. Of course, if I want to use a US passport, then I wouldn't need that. But to use a Nigerian passport, which most of us have, I have to get an NDLEA clearance. That NDLEA clearance costs a lot of money. Some people said it might go as up as $250,000 just because I want to go vacation. Is that fair on us? Because a lot of Nigerians have been caught with drug trafficking in Asia. Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, different places. And these countries are the ones that execute Nigerians. A survey of the investigation I did found a lot of Igbo names. Okay, Igbo names means Igbos. Okay, don't play me. And even the NDLEA, if you look at all the seizures they've had, it's always an Igbo person. Now we have a woman that was arrested, as in this past month, August, with 4.8 billion naira worth of tramadol stored in a warehouse, an Igbo lady. I understand that she's named names. And the names of the people coming out are big people, public figures, celebrities, people who have literally generated their business from selling tramadol to young people on the streets of Nigeria and destroy their lives. One of the most addictive drugs and one of the hardest to get off in rehab. The Yoruba Southwest, where I'm from, they're very prominent with internet fraud and cultism and ritualism. Let's go to that cultism and ritualism first, because I've been getting a lot of questions from my colleagues in Canada and United States. What is ritualism? What is money rituals? How does that happen? Don't believe what you hear. But in the modern world, people like me have to explain it to the modern world journalists, the Western journalists. I was speaking to a Ghanaian journalist like the other day, and I said, how do we explain money rituals to these people, to these Oyinbozo? Yorubas are very prominent with that form of crime. Kidnapping people, drugging them, cutting their body parts and using it for all kinds of rituals. The ritualists will want this body part, and so somebody has to be killed. It's kind of really prominent as well in River State. You know, I've seen it over there, and it's very prominent over there too. But the Yorubas, it's a lot. Young people, as of recent, we have 2 or 3 nursing students, graduate nurses being sacrificed, and allegedly body parts were missing. Now, let me go back to the Yorubas. Internet fraud is very prominent in Yorubas. All our Yoruba boys abroad, South Africa, Dubai, Hush Puppy is one of them, Woodbury is one of them, Olale Kokwanle, and others are living on internet fraud. BEC scams, going to company accounts and rerouting their money and lying and getting to launder the money after they've got the money. Love scams. BECs have become so hard because many of the companies are now getting the FBI and cybersecurity experts to tighten their money. They've learned from other things. Love scams are very easy now. You fall in love with somebody, you portray yourself as a lover, you send pictures that you probably stole from somebody else's website. The person falls in love with you, sends you money. The least harmful, but at the end of the day, they're scamming people. 2 Nigerian men, and they were brothers, were in this whole love scam, or would I call it blackmailing, sextortion, where an American kid was selling them nudes. And the boy sending the news thought he was sending it to girls. And then at the end of the day, they told him that he has to pay a certain amount of money. Blackmail before he could get the photos removed. And then they threatened him. And he said he would kill himself if they posted the photos. And the boy ended up killing himself. Committed suicide. The FBI came to Nigeria and they extradited those 2. They found them. If you want to be part of that, okay, you need to know the consequences. Those boys were not Yoruba, but a bulk of the internet fraud, scamming, stealing other people's money, love scams, romance scams, name it, it's the Nigerians. The rate at which Nigerians are being taken out of Ghana and South Africa straight from the FBI, straight by the FBI to America is very alarming. We've seen some from Nigeria to America, but they're not picking them up at other spots outside Nigeria. The Yorubas are prominent in that part. And finally, the Hausas, the most innocent tribe that we feel that they're not doing anything, are doing the worst. If you ask Godwin Emefiele, who's in custody right now, maybe he'll know about what I'm about to say. The Hausa boys, the way they do their own Yahoo, they hack straight into the Central Bank of Nigeria. Nigeria's treasury that the government is supposed to be guarding. They hack into the CBN. Emefiele knows what I'm talking about. Anyone that's worked into CBN has heard about this. The cybersecurity measures that the CBN has to use is very, very discreet. Okay, I'm Kemi Olunloyo. Nothing is discreet anymore. The people need to know what's going on in this country. When the Hausa boys hack into the CBN, they withdraw money, hard currency. If I were to hack into the CBN and I withdrew $100,000, that's a lot of money. I rerouted it to my account, it got there, and the withdrawing is going on and on. And what do Hausa boys do? They sell money. They'll sell it, they'll open bureau de changes. How come all the Hausa boys have bureau de change, changing money? It's a business. It's the longest running scam in Nigeria. Are they hacking into the CBN of other governments, into the treasury of other governments? No, but they know what's going on and they have accomplices. Mr. Emefiele will have to talk about that. The government arrested Mr. Emefiele, saying that he had a weapon in his house and all that. That's just cover up. That's not why they arrested him. The real reason will come. The new president suspended him and put an act in there, but he's been prosecuted for a weapon. You need to know what's going on. Stay woke in Nigeria. Okay, all tribes are scamming, stealing, and doing a lot of bad things. Right now, the Tramadol kings are panicking. They're buying houses, cars, everything. They're dumping money. So if you know any one of the Tramadol kings, you know yourself. They're big celebrities. Buying houses, buying cars, buying everything because it's a paper trail. You can't always fool the feds. Whether they're Nigerian feds, American feds, they'll catch you. And that's it from me.